Okay, in this video we're going to go over how to create a WordPress account. You'll be making your first WordPress blog, but you don't necessarily have to use that one. Contact your technology mentor to set a site up for you. You still have to go through all the steps in this process, but you don't have to use the site that you create in this. We're just going to log in and create a website so we have a WordPress account. And then that way, your technology mentor can make one for you and add you to it, and then the two of you can have control over the content. So if there's any problems or issues, they'll be able to access that for you and make the necessary changes. So let's go to create website. We'll put in a email that hasn't been used. So let's go to the embed. Username. You can't put a dot in here, and you'll see why. It won't let us, so we'll just have to put in our name or whatever username we prefer. Find a password that you think you'll remember. Write this down, and we can now create our blog address. And again, this is a site that we can use or not use. So if you wanted to put it Sweezy Teacher, you can do that. Whatever it is that you want to run with. Could even be if you teach English, FHS English or St. Malachy's English. But right now let's just use Sweezy Teacher. And again, it's going to ask you to buy the domain, but just leave it alone and just use .wordpress.com. We'll scroll down and just click on Create Blog. Okay, so it's going to ask you to set up all this. We don't necessarily need to be too concerned if we're not going to use this one. So let's just go to next step. This is where you can choose a theme if you want. There's multiple different themes, as you can see. Some you can pay for, some are free. The nicest and easiest one that the technology mentors use is Writer, and you can find that later on. But let's just go to next step. Next step. At this point, you can connect with Twitter. This is useful for you if you have parents or students that have Twitter, and that way you can automatically post out new blog posts and content to your Twitter account. So you don't have to go and share it on Twitter. It'll automatically share for you the title of the post and what you've just worked on to a larger audience, and it automatically does that for you. So it's just one of those things that it looks like you're improving or you're interested in improving communication, but it's not a lot of effort on your back. So that's one of the things that I like about this. Now, this is important. You need to go to your email and verify your email address. Otherwise, your site will not go live. If you're not using the site that we've created, this isn't that important. But if you want to use the site that we just made, you need to verify that email. And that's just as simple as you'll go to your email, you'll see that there was one that was submitted from WordPress.com. Just click on the link that they suggest, and you'll verify it, and you'll be able to continue using everything. But for now, we're all set to go. We've created our account. And if I go up to the right here and click on the button with our face, you'll see this is the account that we've created. Okay? And any of the sites that you've created will be over here under My Sites. So for example, if someone has asked me to join a site, you will see it amongst this list here. Right now we only have one. I'm going to show you what it looks like when you've been added to a site. Stay tuned for the next step. Okay, now that we're logged in, we're going to be expecting two different emails. In this instance, as I mentioned, this is the confirmation email. All you're going to have to do is click on this, and you confirm that, and you're good to go. That site is going to be active and ready for you to use. So now that that's verified, we can go look for another email that should be in our inbox, and that's going to be a request to the site that the mentor has sent you or was created for you. So they give you the username, they give you the password. You can change this if you wish. and it's going to send you to the link to be able to log in. So your only priority is just remember the username and the password. Click on the login link, and then now I can put in Philip Sweezy, password 1. Please do not use that as a password going forward. Now, because I'm logged in to my WordPress account, you'll see that if I go to my tab over here, I'm still logged in. If I was not logged in to this account right now, it would ask me, after I put in that username and login, it would have asked me to submit my WordPress credentials. So the credentials that we just created. So you got to think about it as two separate things. The website sent you a username and a password, and this username and a password can be different for any different site that you work on. So you could have 10 different WordPress sites that you're contributing or an administrator for, and all the usernames and passwords are different to get in there. However, that username and login is now paired with and has to be paired with a WordPress account, and that username and password will not change. That's the one that we just created. Okay, so you'll have to remember two separate things. It's good to try and keep them similar to make it easier, but if someone doesn't know you and they're adding you to a site, they're probably going to give you their own form and format to a username and password. So keep your passwords in a safe location, whether you have a notepad or something in a secure place that you use to keep your passwords. I would suggest that, but just remember there's two different things at play here. Okay, there's the login for the site that was made for you, and then there's the WordPress account itself. So you need to remember both of those to have access to this. And that's it.